The driver under this head cover, no one is buying. The older models are more expensive. The new one has all the hype. So why does this one... Could do that if I tried again.
Why is no one buying this thing if it does that? Outrageous first shot left-handed. If you're new to the channel, welcome. Simon down here at Sandford Springs. Obviously I play right-handed normally. We're going out left-handed mainly because don't have a right-handed version of this, but no one's buying it. It's going for such a little amount of money compared to all the other 2021 drivers, and I want to test it, try it, because I've never actually hit this on the channel before, and give you guys feedback, because this could be my 2021 pick of this year. If you want to go and get an up-to-date, modern, good shaft, good head, good condition driver for 60% off of what it would have been 9 months, 10 months ago, this could be the pick. As long as it performs, and from first glance, I mean, I can't argue with that, can I? But there has to be something wrong with it. Surely the older models are going for more money. Like, how does that make sense? They're older, they're potentially in worse condition because they've been out in the world for a longer period of time. And just like any manufacturer would say, surely the technology is better in a more current model. So why, at this particular point in time, this particular point of the year, is this one going for so cheap? Just put an example, the drivers that came out at the same time, Ping G425 Max, which currently easily going for £300, again still current. However, the TSI from Titleist, again holding its price extremely well, considering a year ago it was basically the same price as well. So you could have bought that TSI, played with it for a year, and then sold it and pretty much lost absolutely nothing when it comes to your hard-earned cash. So what has gone wrong? Is it the performance? Is it the aesthetics? Is it the marketing? Or is it just us? That's more like it. That's what I was expecting the first time round. Well then! Thankfully brought back to reality of my left-handed golf game, and I'm actually glad that I've hit both of those, because I've actually had multiple messages over the course of the year, year and a half, something like that, trading from the driver that I have here, or maybe an older model of this driver, to, let's say, a Ping, or let's say to a Titleist, for example. And the main reason that they all do it is because they need more forgiveness. And to be honest, my instant reaction is, what are you looking forgiveness from? Because if you just hit it like I did with those two shots there, there's not a forgiving driver in the market or the world that will come out and gonna cure both of those shots. Like, in the grand scheme of things, like all the brand new drivers, technology, they're all pretty forgiving. If you look at a driver this year or last year compared to 15 years ago, massively forgiving. Yet those golfers back then were still able to shoot single figures, and they were still able to get around the golf course without hitting a massive slice, just like I did there. I can honestly say I've never been on this part of the golf course on the second down the woods before. This isn't my fairway, by the way. My fairway's on the other side of those trees. So yeah, we've got to invent something here. Oh my God, it's the best shot I've hit in my life. I can't actually believe it. I'm out here with no one to see that. Mind you, if someone was watching me, I'm definitely not pulling that off. Right, before I chip this in for the most outrageous 5 of my life, here it is. Cobra Radspeed driver. Never actually hit this before, right-handed or left-handed, and I want to talk why these are going so cheap, because personally I don't understand it. £150, I'm seeing these go for £160, and last year they were £200 more. The Callaway Epic Flash, which I'll show you down the side here on the right hand side, heavily dropped in price, potentially more, because obviously they came out at 440, this came out at 360 or 350, but at the same time this is now, in my eyes, in terms of the premium, I'm talking like Ping, Titleist, Callaway, Mizuno, all the others. This is now the cheapest 2021 driver that has tour players on the list, has massive R&D budgets, you name it. And not only that, there's 2 drivers that are older than this, the Speed Zone and the F9, that are going for more money second hand. So realistically, I just want to ask you guys the question, why do you think that is? can't even make it up. No one's gonna believe. You're not gonna believe my drive off the first, and you're not gonna believe that I've actually just chipped that in. I wouldn't stand here all afternoon just to chip that in, if that makes sense. So please just believe that went. Oh my god. So after all of that, probably a good time to actually have a look at pricing in terms of this driver. Number one, why I think this is struggling. Just look at the quantity. And not only that, the amount of brand new ones. Like for example, I see it a lot. Like here for example, Golf Clubs for Cash. So this is essentially a pro shop has this and can't get rid of it. Essentially, no one's either getting fitted for it towards the end of the season, or other models have done better in fittings. And these brand new, because you can see there, Golf Clubs for Cash pre-owned, it's saying, because they can't sell anything brand new. I imagine in terms of licensing, because they haven't got a contract or an account with Cobra, so they're saying pre-owned. But I think we would all like to agree that is a brand new bad boy there for 280. So obviously they came out about 360, so about £90 less. You can get one brand new from a premium seller. So let's be honest, if that was from Dave or Terry off Facebook, you're not giving them 280 for a multitude of reasons. But there is a lot of them on here, and we haven't even got to the sold price listing yet. Anyway, this is interesting. 157. This is from Golf Clubs Cash. There's got a bit of damage, a dent, a dink somewhere. No, ladies left-handed. Why are you selling that so cheap? Very interesting. But again, abundance, and I think that is one of the reasons why Ping, Titleist have done incredibly well second hand, is because it's a long lead time at the moment for those clubs to get them fitted and sent out to you. Virtually too long. Therefore people are either getting fitted or go, you know what, I really can't be bothered, I'm just going to go and buy a stiff 10.5 degree from Ping, Titleist, even TaylorMade. Whereas Cobra, the lead times are actually been pretty good as far as I'm aware. But then also on the sub side, aren't as many people, especially in the UK, buying the driver. From the evidence I'm looking at the moment, potentially not. And again, I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts on that and why, because when I used to fit for Cobra, I actually thought it was a very good product. A, it's a good price point. It's £100 less than the majority of the drivers that come out, like the TaylorMade, Ping, whatever. It's got good shaft options. They had the Argos grip in the top, which potentially I think is an add-on nowadays. I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts when you've gone and got fitted. But again, 185 pre-owned, 160. Okay, maybe an inch shorter in the shaft, 185, but consistently. I mean, this is 3rd of May, so this was yesterday. I'm just picking drivers that sold yesterday. 160, 149 for the head, 199. And a good tip here, if you love Cobra, if you buy a lot of Cobra stuff, all right, and you want to keep with the current models, whatever it is, you could essentially, from what I've seen, buy this Rad Speed now at 160, bide your time, buy the head only maybe for 150, something like that, trade it out for your speed zone, which I'll get onto in a minute. You'll probably get 150, 160 for the head anyway. And next year, prediction, wait for it, I know the LTDX did go a kind of bit up in money, you'll probably be able to get that head this year for £160. So every year there's this little dip, because every pro shop, every club fitter, everyone wants to get rid of the old stuff. Then all of a sudden that all gets bought, used, kept in the bags, people aren't selling it. And then it comes to the next year, there's a slight little rise. So let's have a look what a speed zone's going for, shall we? Here they're already listed. I'll be interested to see what the bids go for. Let's just go straight to the sold listing. Free upgrade option. Here's the hack. You want a new driver head every year, keep up to date with the technology, even though it hasn't really changed at all over the last 10 years. You could do this again, 176. So there's Rad Speeds that are selling for 180, 190, and this one with active bid, 25 people have wanted this speed zone. What kind of condition? Is it even in a good condition? Because to be honest, the Rad Speeds that you can, okay, maybe not my one, but the Rad Speeds at the moment are virtually new. This has got marks, dinks, hasn't even bothered cleaning it for you. The toe looks heavily abused. But again, there are some, don't get me wrong, that are going to go for a bit cheaper. But on average, look, 205, 195, 160. That is essentially the same pricing structure as the Rad Speed. Don't get me started on the F9. I know I've obviously hit it a couple of times, but it's going to be no different to the Speed Zone, which I tested a lot. It's not really going to be that dissimilar to the F9. And the F9, I thought, was one of the best drivers to come out in its year, especially for the price point. So if you just want a good condition, and maybe you like the design of the Rad Speed, I think that's potentially why it got hurt a tiny bit. If you want a good condition, i.e. hardly used and probably just sat in a fitting room for 8 to 9 months, remember the hype last year Remember when everyone wanted it, and you want to buy these products at the low. Like the Speed Zone, I think this is just going to flatline now. This is the lowest it's going to be. So if you're looking to spend £160 this summer on a 2021 driver that's going to give you a good level of forgiveness, the same ball speed as everyone else, decent shaft, decent grip, I can't see why you would look past the Rad Speed. So guys, let me know what you think. No one's buying the Rad Speed. Are you going to after this video? If you wouldn't mind leaving this video a like, subscribing if you are new. Catch you guys later.